All right, everyone. Well, welcome back to Hoop to Holler with Dylan Walrus, aka the B-Ball Study Hall. I am on the move at the moment, but here to talk some hoops with my favorite fellow hooper. What's going on, Dylan? How you doing, man?
The walrus, the bearded walrus in the car with the shades, looking classy. We're both pushing towards the end of our collective school years, one day at a time, right, Wall? Give him your
20
credo.
days, man.
What's your
20
credo?
days. My credo. So
Yeah,
I was telling you right
yeah,
before we hit record, before I
that's
leave
it.
my classroom, I have a mantra. Okay. What getting through it
From Grandpa
one day,
Jerry.
one class at a time. Yeah. And from my grandpa Jerry. Yeah. So the power went out at school. Last 10 minutes of the school day. It was an interesting way to finish. And yeah, he taught me a phrase that people make plans and God laughs. And you
Amen.
could say the universe laughs if you're not
Well,
if you're not a believer, one way or the other. Things don't go the way you plan.
the power went off on playoff PED and his juice run and Joel Embiid
Wow.
and them Sixers. Talk to me about the Knicks, dude. Let's start out east and then we'll move to our more beloved west. What do you think about that series?
So last time we spoke, right, I was figuring that the Knicks were going to sweep. They did. And I
Brooms.
mean, like power brooms, man,
Yeah,
like
they look good.
industrial. Wow, like
You mean like street
like
sweeper, like street sweeper
exactly.
in New York streets. Yeah,
Swept, exactly, man,
and with
exactly.
with Knicks fans raining down in Philly as well. Selling all those tickets. Have you heard
Not
the
that far away.
Have you heard the intricacies there too? Like the price for. I've never been to a game at the Garden. In fact, hope to go next spring. Keena, my wife is running the Boston Marathon, and
Nice.
we always go to Boston games, but we're gonna head to New York afterwards. So I've never been to the Garden. I'd like to go, but I think that the ticket price is almost double, if not triple, what you can get it for in Philly. So it being
Crazy.
only an hour and a half train ride, I think, yeah, a lot of Knicks fans catch those games, and yeah, Joel Embiid was on the ground a lot. Playoff P didn't show up. You kind of like BJ and Maxi, but that Philly season, I don't know. They got past Boston, and then they got
They
swept.
did, man. They
Yep,
did, and in an incredible fashion.
yep, yeah.
And on the road, like if you like think about this, right? So we had two first round series where the team came back from a 3-1 hole. The
Yep,
Pistons did it,
yep,
but they got to play game 7 in Detroit. Philly had to go to Boston, right?
correct.
Which
Yep,
many people, including us,
yep.
thought we're going to go to the finals. So, yeah, I think the Sixers, there's no shame. That Knicks team is rolling, man.
Yeah.
They are rolling. I don't think they're going to win the championship. I don't think they're going to be able to beat either the Thunder or the Spurs. I think they probably would beat the Timberwolves, to be honest with you, the way
Mm.
that everything's going down. I don't think that's what's going to happen, though, right? I think it's definitely going to be. It's obvious. Thunder obviously have the ability, being in the conference finals already. I think the Spurs are proving, even if it goes 7 games, they're the team to bet on. But those Knicks, dude. I mean, it's funny because I've been criticized in the past on national radio for talking about the continuity of another New York team.
Mm.
I really believe in continuity,
Chemistry. Yeah, yeah,
and the Knicks have that.
yeah.
That and frankly, the Thunder have that too. They have a lot more than that, right? But I think that is playing a role right now. So Jalen Brunson, that dude is, he is a perhaps lowercase superstar, but really he's awesome. And that team is playing really well, man. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean that was street sweeper broomage.
Yeah, and there's a lot to the fallout to Jalen Brunson lowercase is fitting with his size. OG Ananobi's hammy is key, right? Like
Yeah,
so and he's got time now. I mean, when you get this series done, especially when you're one of the older teams compared to the chemistry you're talking about with OKC and the chemistry that we're going to talk about with the Spurs as well, you need all the rest you can get. So
right.
I think that's going to be key there. Chemistry and connectedness, interestingly, these human qualities that you and I think do put stock value, and I think a lot of GMs do. This is the opposite, the opposite of what Daryl Morey, who is straight analytics, right? The Sloan Conference, and I don't know if you saw, he lost his job there with the
I
Sixers.
saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting because, like, yeah, the thing that you need at the end of the day, you don't have to love you don't have to be best friends, but you have to love the process of playing basketball together, or want to play hard for your coach. So I do give Mike Brown credit because the Knicks, the word we use is galvanized, right? to
Yep.
have Cat as a hub, in their offense, and Mikel finally showing out. OG playing the best ball of his career really until this injury pops. Yeah, they're playing well. I think there's a pathway with the Pistons getting by the Cavs that the Pistons could push the Knicks. I just think the first two games against Atlanta, the Knicks looked so bad. Remember back to CJ McCollum just lighting them up at the Garden.
Yeah.
To now where they're sitting, I think this roller coaster we could see it again. I'll be more impressed if the Knicks sustain
Sure.
this level of play through. But like on paper, they got talent, dude, and they're playing well. And you're right, they're the Nova Knicks with a little sprinkle of Cat and OG hamstring playing really well. And they Daryl Morey got fired. Maybe he got fired anyway, but I don't think the sweep helped him at all. So
Definitely not.
and now
Yeah.
they got
And
time to rest.
you can't forget about Josh Hart and Soul, man.
Yeah, I love Josh Hart. Yeah.
That dude's great, man.
When
But yeah,
you think about guys that if you're doing a pickup run, who you would want to play with, he's a guy I would want to play with.
Big
Derek
time.
White, Josh Hart, just like gritty. Do anything you ask, and never complain. You don't have to run anything for him either. What do you got? Pistons,
No doubt
Cavs.
about
Pistons, Cavs, 2-2. They play tonight. I told you about a little show shout out. NBA radios, NBA Today, Justin Termini,
Yep.
Eddie Johnson. Really been appreciating that. Termini said last night's game 5, which we'll talk about between the T-Wolves and Spurs, was the most pivotal game of the playoffs. I tend to agree, even with those game 7s. So this is another game 5. And the series is kind of going back and forth. We've got the youthful Pistons. Duren hasn't really arrived. Cade's kind of turned the ball over, done a lot. And the Cavs, I will continue to say the most fraudulent backcourt ever assembled. Donovan Mitchell did have a good game last game. Still really haven't seen Harden show up. What do you think here, dude? Who do you want to win? Who do you think is going to win?
I don't have a dog in the fight. I would like to see the Pistons win. I would.
Okay.
I like Cade Cunningham. He's the real deal. But it could really go either way.
Yeah.
I think on paper, the Cavs
Cavs.
have more
Yeah.
talent.
Yep.
Right. All it takes is a Donovan Mitchell going for what it was 43. Evan Mobley.
Yep.
Trying to get a 25 and 15 game. Jared Allen's my favorite player on that team. When he shows up, they're hard to beat. And
he's volatile,
Harden,
right? He had that 17 rebound game, and then he had like 2 or 3. But I love him too, and his attitude is really, really positive. I think very likable human.
Yeah, but game 5 in Detroit, I think Cade gets his team that win. But then if it goes back to Cleveland, game 6, and they manage to win at home, go 7. I think it is going to go 7, and I think the Pistons are going to win in Detroit in that 7th game.
So
but yeah,
home team cleans out. Home team cleans out the rest of the way. Okay, I think that's fair. Interestingly, I think if the Cavs don't win this series, that's the next blow up place. I wonder if they do a reset and some heads roll. I mean, they've put 3 years now into this double big lineup. You bring in Donovan, you go get Spider, and then you get rid of youth to bring in old man Harden to hopefully bring it all together. So they've kind of put their chips in, and I think they have the highest payroll and pay the most luxury tax of any team.
Is that right?
Yeah. So if you don't get by the Pistons, and besides Cade, like who's your scoring threat? I will say shout out Duncan Robinson. I don't know if you and I talked. Did you see the special on his brother?
Absolutely heartbreaking. Yeah. You can, like you said, you can only root for that guy. And I was already a fan of his before that, but yeah, I mean, come on.
And Williams College, Purple Cows. I think maybe we talked about this already, Wally. Where I coached rowing back in the day. That's where Duncan got his start. Division III college in Williamstown, Massachusetts. So
we didn't talk about that. Amazing.
Yeah. So he went from there, grew a few more inches, and then went over to Michigan. And the rest, and then the Heat culture, and the rest is history. So pretty likable dude there. But Pistons got to have some scoring at the end of the day. I do think. I guess it's a win-win.
He's the key.
He was really bad last game. You're right. And when he's good, they've been all right. Here, I'll spend this positive. If the Cavs get by, we've got star matchup Cavs-Knicks. That'll be fun to watch. If the Pistons get by, we get to watch some more Cade and youth go against the Knicks. So I think it's kind of a win-win for an East that we knew was going to be a little underwhelming, especially once the Celtics got ducked out. So